Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's number one mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
It's been a while since we recorded. We went out a little sad, got busy as usual, never can count on us for consistency, but we'll always be here in the big moments. And we just had one of those. Had to get on here. I'm driving up to Maine, up to go see you for the 4th of July. Get a call from my friend of the show, former guest Mike Salucci. You won't believe it just happened. Jaylen Brown has been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George and a couple picks. And I'm on the road, so I can't look at anything. I'm like, there's got to be more to this trade. There's got to be more going on, but there was not. He was telling the truth. I wish I brought I was just leaving on the road. I wish I brought the podcast equipment, so we could have gotten this out earlier. But um, here we are. What was that? The second 4 days later or so. It's
Yes.
official. We just saw Brad Stevens' press conference, and Jaylen Brown is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. Thoughts? The initial thoughts. When did you learn the news?
Right when it happened, actually, Deb texted me and told me that it happened, and then I started looking it up. And
Yep. Doing the Googles. Yep.
yeah, um, wasn't shocked. Maybe the trade itself a little shocked, but
Yeah, I
wasn't
was
shocked.
shocked.
Yeah, the trade itself. I thought we would trade him. I don't think that I ever thought he was going to be back with us this year.
Yeah,
For
I
some
kind of
reason,
did, but
I don't
clearly
know.
I was wrong.
I think there was a bad taste, regardless of what Brett, and I don't think an argument, I don't think it was any, but I think after the results of the end of the season, it was pretty clear a change needed to be made. I think the biggest change was one of the two Jays, and you knew Jason Tatum was not going to go. I
Yep.
mean, you knew. Um, and so I think the only option to really change the team and head in a direction, um, had to be Jaylen Brown. So I kind of expected it anyway. Like I said, the type of change, I don't know, the trade itself, obviously everyone's arguing and a little upset. But I wasn't surprised that he was traded. And I don't think Brad or the team is the type to know they're going to trade him and start the year with him. I just don't. And that is part of I think what happened did. I don't think there were a lot of offers coming in at this point
Well,
before
clearly, I
the start
mean,
of the season, and I just think they knew they wanted to do it, for financial reasons as well. He went into it. He just had his podcast. And he was talking about how much more flexibility, not just this year, but over the next few years, they're going to have by this trade. And
agreed. That
um,
I was actually going to bring that up because that
yeah,
was the one thing that I think the most telling moment was when he said you don't want two of your players taking up 70% of your cap room.
yeah,
And then obviously they asked, well, you still do with Paul George, but the deal is you know, shorter, and there's clearly going to be no extension there versus, Jalen's was eligible for this extension, and obviously he was going to want the max extension, and they weren't going to give it to him. And I think that's where, after that moment, after Brad said that, I think that was part of the kind of telling moment was they did not want to extend him for max money, and he was obviously going to want that. Um, and I think
yes,
that's part of it. And I think a lot of teams are going to deal with this in the new kind of, collective bargaining agreement era with these contracts and how the cap works and the first apron and the second apron. Um, I don't necessarily disagree with that philosophy.
yeah,
I just think if you've seen other trades that have happened,
agreed.
it just stings that this was the return you got. And, um, basically they were happy to give you Paul George on that contract. And so really you're just looking at these picks and maybe those pan out, maybe they don't because the Sixers might be good and maybe it's the Clippers pick. That's TBD. But um, I, I think when a week ago you think you might get Giannis and
Thank God. That's all.
Well, I disagree now. Now I kind of wish we got Giannis.
I
Like,
don't, yeah. I just don't think he's a good fit with our team. And I think he's a great
I
player.
wouldn't
We
disagree.
made it
You are
work.
kind of putting all your eggs in one basket there, but
But and I do think we would have made it work and we probably would have been very good. But I
yeah,
think there would have been a lot of changes, a lot of things that needed to change, including our bench. There would be people that would completely disappear with Giannis and not get the playing time and not, whereas now you have the opportunity, somebody who is not going to be, he's older. He is not going to be a takeover kind of guy for the game. He's not going to play 40 minutes and he's not going to make those guys disappear. And in fact, he could be, and if you watched him in the playoffs, he played well. I mean, he was shooting well, he defended well. I mean, he's a good player. He's no Jaylen Brown caliber player, but I do think he is going to give a little bit of room for the growth of some of our better players on the bench than Giannis than Jaylen Brown did.
agreed. Yeah, but then you're kind of banking on these players. It's like, well, I hope those guys are good because
Yeah.
that's what you have now. And so I get that philosophy. And again, if the rumors are true that they didn't want to put in Ugo and Shireman and those extra pieces in the honest deal, it's like
I
I
think
wouldn't even say pressure's on them. I'd say like pressure's on Brad Stevens to be like, if you believe
100%
in those guys,
he
like,
took it,
it's
man.
unfair to put that on those guys because they're not making the negotiations. But it's like,
I think he
if
took
you
that on.
believe in,
He did somewhat say, there's some development that's going to happen and
yeah,
stability now, and some of those players could be traded this year. Who knows?
and maybe that's the correct philosophy kind of in this new NBA era because you can't sign these huge players. You can't have three max guys. It's almost impossible with the cap and the way it works. Um, And so maybe that is the strategy to kind of get these guys on more team friendly deals when they're younger and, build around Tatum or the one guy who you can kind of you can pay. And so TBD on whether that's gonna pan out. But this is, I will say, for Brad and the new ownership, this is like, it, it, you know, this is the moment because if it goes south from here, everybody's going to be looking back to this moment and saying, that's when
And
that's
it
when
could
it.
be a very rough year. It really could. I mean, who knows how this is all going to turn out. But I think
But if this
they
is a rough
watched,
year,
I
you're
think
you're going to
after they
have
watched for the second year in a row, and I think after they watched the finals, they came away with the same sort of taste that we had, where, I was not sad to see them knocked out after watching the last three games. They
well, wouldn't
just,
say that.
it was not going well in general.
Yeah,
No matter what they tried, no matter what, it was not going well. Um, and I just think that at that moment, I think Brad Stevens made his decision back then. We are going to change something major.
sure.
I really do. This is the second year, and it is very similar. I mean, we had even more pieces the year before, and we sort of just watched it. I don't know. It just
Yeah,
worked. And that's why we got rid of, I mean, think about it. We got rid of all those other pieces the year before.
yeah. But
Now,
again, these are more financial moves, I think, than
yeah, but
team
you
improvement. Like,
might pay and you might make it work if you thought it was going to work long term, right? I mean, we might
yeah,
have Jaylen Brown and, you know, but also I think we were second in the East last year. And I think you have to remember that it wasn't Jaylen Brown that carried the whole team. It was all those pieces on the bench at different times that started to shine
of
for us.
course. But I mean, Jaylen Brown was the guy. I mean, he was finished
Ab-
sixth in MVP voting last year.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. But by himself, he couldn't have done it. One
of
guy.
course, but here's what you're going to see this year is a very similar surrounding cast, but instead of Jaylen Brown, you have Jason Tatum.
Yeah. He
So
plays
these seasons are
different.
going to be compared,
I think if
whether
somebody
that's
is
fair
going,
or not, as one is a Jason Tatum led team with a similar cast, one
yeah.
is a Jaylen Brown, and if the season goes bad, people are going to say like that's going to be
Yeah.
the conversation.
I think you're going to see a Jason Tatum actually is able to um, help the bench players or those extra players improve. Whereas
I
I
don't
don't
disagree.
think a Jaylen Brown can do that.
I don't
I
disagree.
say that he plays
Yeah.
there's not a lot of passing. There's not a
Correct.
lot of, offensively, I think you're going to see a difference with a Jason
Yeah.
Tatum than you would a Jaylen
No,
Brown.
I don't disagree. But again, you finished second in the East last year. The results are the results. Like,
But I mean, and look at the players we're talking about. I mean, some of them, I'm talking just bench. I'm talking, Derek White.
yeah,
Who knows? Okay, right? Offensively, he was before last year doing very well. So who knows? This change could push him ahead. Peyton Pritchard, some of those people that we're talking about that we think of as bench or lesser or whatever, performed at a pretty high level.
I agree.
Many
No,
games.
I'm with you.
So I
Yeah.
just, yeah, like I said, I mean, if you had watched the playoffs last year, I think that that is the time that the decision was made that we need to make a
Yeah.
change.
But
We need
again,
to go in a different direction.
it's hard to be like, I think it's hard to I mean, you obviously really collapsed, lose 3 games in a row, lose that 3-1 lead, but it's a 3 game sample size. And, if we win one more game against, if we don't collapse against the 76ers in a couple of those games, we
Yeah.
win, we're on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, this is a totally different conversation. So, um, I think maybe, I mean, again, maybe they said that was it, but like, it's hard for me to take that and say that, like, you need to do whatever based on those 3 games because you're up 3-1 against Philly. You
Sure.
look great.
You're
And then you
absolutely
just,
not the only one. I mean, look at everybody. Look
yeah,
at
I agree. But
everybody's
it's just
very,
hard for me to, and
very
again,
disgruntled. And I thought
I,
Brad did a great job. Like, you know, not just analytics and I don't know. I think he answered in a way that they decided to make a change
yeah,
and you know how they did it, there was a distaste, sleepless nights. I mean, it wasn't easy for them, but you knew it wasn't going to be Jason Tatum. So who is it going to be?
yeah,
Right.
agreed. But and again, I don't think it's the trade. I think it's the return you got when
Yes. Yeah.
it,
And he
it
talked
just
about
seemed,
timing. He said some of the people, yeah, some of the posts, he's like, I went off social media because
yeah.
he doesn't like what he's looking at right now. But he said, you have to be careful what you're reading and what people are saying. He said some of these teams that they said were making offers or were interested were not interested, had not,
Yeah, well, they were not real.
oh,
Yeah,
had
yeah.
not made phone
Of
calls.
course, yeah.
So some of the news that you were hearing, why not this team instead of this team? You
But
know,
I just come back to why not keep him then? And the answer is clearly the
I
relationship
don't,
was soured, I think, in
I,
some way, or
yeah, I
the
agree.
extension was really going to be an issue. But he has 3 years left on his deal. It's not like he's like he can't go
The
anywhere.
last
You go,
player that under Brad Stevens, whether he was a coach or the GM, think of the last player that really sort of caused any ruckus. Who would that be in the media?
well, I mean, obviously there was Kyrie, but
Yeah, no,
that,
but I'm just saying, like himself was sort of Marcus Smart. Do you remember when he had some legal problems and he was,
sure, sure, yeah, yeah.
Brad made
I think they
made
all love
an
Marcus. I don't
ultimatum,
know. Yeah, yeah,
you know, you got to smarten up. You got to,
sure,
and actually took a chance on him, gave
yeah,
him a contract, and he turned it around. He, was much quieter, much less vocal or troublesome in the media. And
hmm,
I think Jaylen Brown, not comparing him to Marcus Smart, has been chirping. I think he's been chirping with the refs. Think he's been chirping with the media.
yeah,
Some disgruntledness to him. And
yeah,
I think under this regime, they don't like that. They don't want that kind of. So I do think there is I'm not saying that's the reason he was traded, but I
yeah.
do think there is that sort of rubbing the wrong
I
way,
agreed. Yeah,
happiness that
100%. And I mean, and on the other
the
side is Tatum, who never
refs
says anything.
getting,
You never
yeah,
hear
no, yeah,
anything from Tatum that's,
the refs
other than,
who on our
the
team
appropriate messages.
at any point in the last
No, yeah,
years.
you're
Nobody.
right. And maybe that's the type of guy.
And again, I'm not saying that's the total reason, but I do think there was something chippier over the last year or two
But
about.
I think, especially in a basketball contest, you need guys like that. Like, you can't have a team that's like too soft and it's not gonna, talk
Yeah,
back to the Draymond, the kind of, a lot of these great teams have an enforcer type that's not
yeah,
like
but
gonna,
I'm not sure that. Yeah, I'm not
But
sure.
who? But he was that. Whether you think
Yeah.
he was good at that or not, he was that guy for us. We don't really have
In the
any
last couple of
other
years,
tough guys.
more so. But I
Yeah,
think the blaming of the refs for things over and over again,
sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, like he just seemed to get a little chippier, which I don't know.
And obviously, going on live streams all the time is not,
I don't know,
gonna
just
help.
an interesting observation for me that I felt, I don't know, even though he was great this year, that there was some disconnect and some, I don't know. That's just
Yeah. No, I
my
agree. I
honest
think that was part of
opinion.
it.
But shocked, I was not shocked he was traded. I
Yeah.
not even remotely. Again, for who and where? I mean, I don't want to face him in the Sixers. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody does. Four
No.
times, two
Yeah, and you're gonna have to face him all the time. I mean, you think
six
he's got
games
you think
this
he had a
year.
chip on his shoulder before?
Yeah,
Oh boy, those games are gonna be something else.
yes, they are.
Um,
So
and
yeah,
we'll see how we do this year, but there's I mean, this is gonna be a lot
I'm kind of
of
excited. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to change, and not just this year, year before. I
yeah.
wanted I sort of look forward to
A little shift, little yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
something.
Keeps
We've been
things
watching.
fresh, keeps the
Yeah.
podcast
And,
content
and the
good.
Jays were awesome, and I loved
End
them
of the
both.
Jays.
But I do think it is time to go in a little bit of a different direction, and
Well,
I think we would have.
you got your wish
I did.
because
Yeah.
this is happening.
Careful what you
Um,
wish
I'm
for.
sure we're going to talk about this a lot more in the coming months, in the coming season. So let's shift off that. Let's get to some of the other moves. A move I think we're both a little excited for. Mitchell Robinson, 3 years,
Exciting. He was
$47
on my
million
short list.
dollars. Yeah, I
Big
think this is
opinion.
a great move. I think, obviously the free throws and has his issues, but big men were something we needed. Big men who could defend, rebound,
Yeah.
and
With
he's
experience, a little more polish, and I think he has that polish at times. I don't think he'll replace Kada. I don't think he's going to replace, but I do think he adds something to the bigs, right?
yeah,
So if and
another
when
body.
you
Yeah.
made it to the finals next year, right? And you
Hmm.
had to face the Spurs with Wembanyama, wouldn't you
Yeah.
want Mitchell out there?
All right. Yeah, I agree.
So
Yep.
I do think there is some, when you face Embiid, when you face Giannis,
Yeah,
when
you need those
you
guys.
face
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think,
And it is very kind of, it's like a matchup dependent guy because there's
yeah,
times where teams won't have that guy and he probably doesn't see a lot of minutes.
yeah.
And
And he's
so,
used to being on the bench at times. I mean, it's not
yeah.
like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
times we played him where he I watched games where his minutes were limited. He
Yeah.
didn't have, and then times where he was more important. So
Yep.
I do think he is a great big piece, and that offensive rebound, that rim protector. I do think he we needed something um, more than Vucevic, unfortunately. But
Yes.
yeah, yeah, and he played very well for the Knicks. I thought he was outstanding when Karl Anthony Towns got in trouble and in foul trouble. I think he came in and he was really, really good.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I think we're
I
both
think
pro the move. It'll be
yeah,
good to see a new fresh face this
I'm
year.
excited.
Kata also signs an extension, 4 years, 56
Very,
million. So
very different player.
kind
I
of
think he's
you've locked down your your big guys for a little bit. You have some optionality there, and I think those guys, probably rarely will play at the same time, but those will be the two kind of tag team big guys you have in there.
I think you're right.
Um, and yeah, that's I mean, now you got 4 years of Kata, 3 years of Robinson, so those are gonna be your guys for the next few years. Obviously, you could
And I think they
trade those
offset each other
contracts.
very well.
Brad's looking for his flexibility, and I think those are two good deals that
Yeah, I agree.
will be good. They also signed Mike Conley, 1 year deal. Uh,
I'm not
good
crazy.
vet. Everyone seems to like him. I
I
don't
like
think he's not
yeah,
going to play a lot.
yeah,
I think just a veteran guy, just a locker
yeah.
room guy. I think more than anything. Um,
I
yeah,
like him. I think he has the demeanor that Brad loves.
yeah,
That
correct.
I've
Hard
talked about.
worker.
And I think Paul George has
Never
the demeanor
issues. Yeah.
that they love. That
Um, I don't know. But Paul George.
I think now he does. Maybe
Yeah, yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
but I
Well,
think he is much more mild
he
mannered.
he did have a podcast and then had to shut it down when his play diminished for the Sixers and he was on his podcast all the time. And so
Yeah,
he's not the most, quiet guy at times, but
playing style, maybe
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. Maybe on the court versus
He's
off
not.
the court.
Yeah.
But yeah, agreed.
At least the last few years, I think his playing style is. I don't know.
Yep.
Took a job. nose to the grindstone, doesn't argue too much. I don't know, like, but we'll see. We
Hmm.
didn't, yeah.
And so what's the starting lineup look like? Day one, opening day.
Yeah. I think right now, if all stays the same,
Hmm.
I think obviously JT, I think Paul George, Derek White, Kada, Sam Hauser.
Really? I would have gone Pritchard. I think they'll put Pritchard in there again.
Could be,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Instead of Hauser. But
I think
that was the only I had the rest of those four.
Paul George, JT, and D White. I'm not sure if Pritchard would be. I think Sam plays a really good defender. I don't think you need. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's a good question. It's a good question. Who's your point guard? Who's coming down? I think Derek
I think
White,
it's
right?
Pritchard. I think if Pritchard's in
You
there, they'll give
know,
it to
Derek
Pritchard.
White. I don't know. Yeah, that's
Could be.
going to be tricky.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Half the time it's going to be Tatum.
I know.
So there's that. But
I just want to go to practice and say, can we please have it be the second person that or the third person that touches the ball?
yes, but
Why right up the middle? Why right? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so who knows? Maybe they'll know that that's uh yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, and who knows? I mean, could be Hauser and Pritchard coming off the bench together.
and
They
then well, who starts at that point though?
That's what I mean. Could be somebody else. I don't
Yeah, signing someone else. I don't know.
know. Yeah. Could be one of the bench guys. Could be Hugo.
It's
Shining.
starting. Hey,
I don't know. That yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting because I
Ron
think
Harper Jr.
Hauser and Pritchard playing together play very well together. I think offensively they pass the ball well, they know each other, and it's a good duo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe they still, they want that Pritchard six man. I mean, I wouldn't argue that either.
yeah, I don't know. That'd be my guess. And then because you get such a strong first lineup in some ways, right?
Yeah.
How many people shooting? Do you really want one of your shooters with those three?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be, Peyton Pritchard comes off the bench, but he's there at the end of the game instead of Hauser, kind of deal. Um, but yeah, time will tell. I mean, and then you got all the young guys. Who's going to make, is Ugo going to make that leap that I think people might be expecting? Ron Harper Jr. They signed still, Shireman, Walsh, all the guys are back. Other than this big kind of deal, we have a lot of the same surrounding crew. Which again, that is why it's so fascinating because you had this crew and Brown last year, and now you have this crew and Tatum this year. So I think there's going to be a lot of comparisons year over year going on about how the team looks, and I think that's fair criticism.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited about Paul George's shooting percentage, and I'm hoping that that is something that can really continue, and his shooting percentage is good for us because
Yeah, but
I think we need a very consistent 3-point shooter, and we don't have that really. No, we haven't had
I mean,
that.
we kind of do though. Like that's all our guys do.
Yeah, well,
That's
no,
been the knock
the
is like
percentages were not, especially in the playoffs. The percentages were not.
okay,
We
but
have
again,
games,
such a small sample size. I don't think Paul George is a
we
better
have
3-point
games
shooter than like any of these guys.
had games that we shot the three well. So I would love to take those games that we weren't shooting well, like a certain percentage, and take those numbers, and then ones that we were shooting really well that kind of offset our percentages. So I just am looking forward to a higher shooting percentage from the three, and I'm hoping he might be able to give it to us. Yeah, that's my
Yeah, no, we'll see.
I'll have to do some deeper analytics and say about like those games that really pushed us over the top. It's kind of like playing that team where we crush them and then JT's stats go up, JB's stats go up, and
Yeah,
I think those kind of games at times offset what the real picture is, when you're in a tight game or
yep,
what you're, how you're shooting the three or second half or third quarter, fourth quarter, or I just think that
yep. We'll
those
see.
picks are a little skewed. So next podcast, I'll have a little more information on that. Tell you.
Yep. Last thing on my list, the draft. Chris Sinak Jr. out of Houston, first round pick, 27th overall, 19 years old, big kind of rim runner, big guy. Again, what we wanted in, why we got Mitchell Robinson needing that size, those big guys. He's not going to play this year, by all accounts, but player to watch in the future. Again, only 19 years old, so a guy that they're going to try to develop. And I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Didn't watch a lot of Houston this year.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. So we'll
And
see.
then second round, Dylan Mitchell, forward, St. John's, older guy. Again, will he ever crack the roster? We'll see. I mean, we'll,
When
we'll
does
get a
summer
look in
league
summer
start?
league, and yeah, that was my next thing. Summer league starts. I think the 10th is our first game, Friday. Yeah, Friday versus Toronto. That's the first one, and then let's see who's on the roster this year.
And so who do you think's playing summer league from our bench? Hugo? Willie?
Ugo, um,
Um,
Ugo will definitely play. He'll be the guy. I think he'll be the guy that you really see.
yeah.
That them trying to make him the star. I think. Amari Williams picked last year, another
Oh,
guy to
yeah,
watch, big
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Um, other than that, guys that Sanak, obviously the new guys, the new picks will both be on the roster.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, Sanak and Mitchell. I don't know who else will.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we'll
A lot
see.
of cusp guys that may or may not.
Let's see. Summer League Shireman's on the roster.
That's
I'm
what I
not
was gonna.
sure he'll play.
I didn't know if that was good. Yeah.
Um, Sometimes I'll put the guys and they won't play as much. Max Shilka, Jordan Walsh. This says he's on the roster as well. Um, I'd be surprised if either of those guys really play, but TBD. Or is this last year? Maybe this is last year, and oh, this is last year. Never mind. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they have a roster that yet this year.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see who else plays.
Yeah, no, definitely. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Um, Giannis on the Heat.
I think they're gonna stink.
It's gonna be interesting. I
Bam and Giannis, like,
don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Spoelstra's so creative and tricky. We'll see.
yeah, I know. Never doubt Spoelstra,
I
I
think
guess. That's you're right.
it
You're
gets
right.
to me
We've done it a
shocking.
million times, and you can never doubt. But they just gave they're like a shell of a team now. I don't know.
Tyler, no, yeah, they gave away a lot
Yeah,
of him. Yeah.
and they have no room to
And then how about
no more picks to give up, no more real
Timberwolves?
cap room.
Nas? Why couldn't
Yeah,
Nas come?
disaster too.
Nas, I want Nas.
Yeah, that was a rumor I saw.
Him coming here?
Yeah, that they were trying to get him to the Hornets for Naz Reid and like Miles Bridges, but again, who knows how true that was.
I would take Nas.
I would too. I'd take that over what we got for sure.
Yep. Yep. I make that even trade if I had to.
Even.
Huh?
I guess, yeah, maybe even better than what we got, even just straight up, but I'm not sure the money works.
Okay. Um, but the Timberwolves rebuilding completely.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
Yeah. It's like tore that thing apart, which
What?
probably they should have, because remember I had the preseason pick of them winning the whole thing because I think with all the pieces they had, they really kind of had to go
Oh,
deeper.
I agree they
And
had to do
or
something,
they
but
had to blow it up.
is
And so,
LaMelo Ball the guy you want? Oh, I don't
you know,
know.
why? What? That's what I said. What's going on there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, even just from a off the court standpoint,
Yeah.
him and Ant, that's a dangerous duo
I
roaming the
don't,
streets of Minneapolis, but we'll see.
um, yeah, a lot of changes. And then no more LeBron at the Lakers.
Yeah,
And
I know. We're gonna see where he signs. I still predict Warriors. I really think he wants to play with Steph. I don't think he wants to.
well, he wants to stay in California probably too.
Correct. That's what I was gonna say. I don't think he wants to leave California. Um, he had that weird white. I don't know if you saw the whiteboard thing with his agent. What's his name? Rich Paul. But he had a whiteboard, like giving the pros and cons and all the teams he's looking at: the Sixers, the Cavs, the Heat. It was bizarre. But We'll see. I don't really know. My guess would be Warriors, but I'm not I wouldn't be shocked if he goes to a number of those places. I
Yeah.
think it depends on what he's prioritizing
Yeah.
in terms of winning and
How many old guys can the Warriors have?
well, yeah. Well, that would be kind of the thing, the old man super team and just get all the old guys. Go trade for
I
Kevin
don't
Durant or
know
something.
about that.
No, I'm not saying it's gonna work. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that would be the idea. One last run at it with Steph and LeBron and
Well, they'd have
Draymond.
a lot of
Well, is
people.
Jimmy Butler gonna play? Oh,
There are a lot of people paying for tickets, right? They'd at
yeah.
least get
Correct. Exactly. Well, that's the other thing. It's just
they get some
commercially
money. Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Still.
would they be good? I don't know.
And especially, does Steph Curry want that, right? Don't you want to make a run in your last few years? Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, the argument would be like, what's their other option? Like,
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. I think they need to go.
I think both those guys are kind of like, well, we're out of options. Let's just team up and see what happens. Because what else
Yeah.
are you gonna do if you're? Because I mean, they're not better without LeBron. Let me tell you that. Like
And then the Lakers, what are they going to do? Luka,
the white
Austin?
guys, the Snowtime Lakers,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to
all the
be.
white guys.
I was, and then John Morant moving. Like, yeah, it's going to be a fun year.
Another just
Felt that
I
way
hate
last.
every move the teams have made this year. What are teams doing?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand.
I think it's so tricky now. I don't know.
You're gonna have Damian Lillard and Ja Morant trying to play no defense and just be old and hurt. Like what?
It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
You had like an exciting young team last year, and you're like, what if we paired Ja Morant with Damian Lillard? Ugh, what are they doing? Even Kawhi going to the Raptors, like they gave up way too much for him.
Yeah.
Again, a young team getting an old guy who's always
So I
hurt.
think
What is
his
the?
stats and games played was better last year, but still, he's just
He's not a trustworthy guy. Like,
not inspiring, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think he's inspiring a team. He just doesn't seem like he has that push. I don't know.
Agreed. And you're giving up so much for a guy who's like
Efficient,
a
very,
big
I mean,
question mark.
very good, but yes,
He's
yes.
always good when he plays. The problem is he never plays. Like you're
He,
gonna,
I thought he played quite a few games last year.
yeah,
But
but again,
anyway,
trusting that for the future is like,
yeah,
what? He's only getting older and he's been hurt constantly. I don't know. We'll see.
it is going to be interesting.
A lot of people on the move.
Yeah,
All for, all these moves for you gotta think Thunder and Spurs are still
yeah.
hanging tight, but everyone's chasing them, I think. And maybe the Knicks, we'll see. I don't know. Will the Knicks be, one one playoff run wonder where this was, just an anomaly, or is this the team we're going to see next year? It's hard to tell. 'Cause, I mean, they just stormed through the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they got somewhat lucky with the Spurs. I don't think that. I think if they saw the Thunder, it would have been a little more difficult. I think the Spurs just were a terrible
I
matchup.
mean, even the Spurs though, they were, dominating multiple games and just completely fell apart down the
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
Like,
I think they were too young. Just to,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Have the
so
depth.
again, what kind of is are these Knicks a team that can go back to the finals? We'll see. It'll be
I thought
interesting.
they looked good. I mean,
I
don't get
mean,
me
they
wrong.
looked amazing.
Yeah, I thought the Knicks looked very good in
No one
most.
expected them to dominate the playoffs like that.
I
So
thought
good
they
for
did
them.
look
But
good. But I think it would have been a different story matched up against OKC. It would not have been as easy as it would.
agree.
You know. That's just my.
But
I think they.
I think those are going to be OKC and San Antonio. Those are still all these moves being made. I think those
And
are
then
still
the
the teams to
Rockets.
beat.
Have they made any moves whatsoever?
Nothing major, right?
If Lead is back, which is going to be huge for them,
I
right? No, well,
think. I don't know.
I think
How
their
old is he?
but their lack of a point guard
Yeah,
was
agreed.
an eyesore. I mean,
32. He's not as old as I thought, but
yeah.
coming off a torn ACL, you're like,
I think they
we'll see.
need a point guard, regardless of what else he does. He needs to handle the ball and
Yeah,
pass it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
They
Agreed.
just didn't have it last year. I mean, I think that was one mistake that they made.
Yep.
But I was wondering if they had shaken anything up, but I haven't heard about any major trades for them. Have you?
No, I don't think
There
so.
were whispers of them wanting to get rid of Şengün, but
Yeah, yeah. That's another Jaylen Brown rumor that
and then KD.
oh, they got Marcus Smart.
Oh, they did trade Marcus. Gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
no, I think he just signed with the Rockets.
Oh, he
He's a
did.
free
Okay.
agent. Yeah, yeah. So that's their one move. But
He had actually, I thought he played very well for the Lakers when they needed him.
I mean, you know what you're getting with Smart. There's no
Yeah,
question
I
about that.
thought
He's going to work
he
his butt
really,
off
I was
and
very
be a
pleased
maniac.
that he had the opportunity to once again play at a very high level. And I thought, he did a great job for them. He really did. Um, yeah, I thought last year in the playoffs he was really good. Yeah, I got nothing else. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Another season,
Waving
another
their number
wave of
seven
big changes.
jerseys around, angry, angry people. But I'm excited for change. I do think, yeah,
It's going to
something
be
new,
something.
something different. It could be
Big Ugo season.
a big
Big
mistake.
Ugo
I don't
season.
know. But I do think you're going to see at least pieces that you would not have been able to see, and they could be bad, if Jaylen had stayed. And so I'm excited. And I think, for Jaylen, it's a good team to go to, right? I mean, it's not like he was sent to nowhere land.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to be pretty. They could win the East. I mean, there's no reason they can't
So,
win the East.
yeah. So in some ways, he shouldn't be disgruntled because it could have
No,
been
I don't think. I don't think he's disgruntled at all. I'm sure he's
and the
happy.
Trailblazers. It could have
And he
been,
gets to kick our butt like 6 times a year. He's like, great.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's the other frustrating part is you're making a direct rival in your division better. Like,
It's going to be interesting.
and yeah, will they be good? I mean, I don't know, but
I just would love to know the real behind the scenes because
agreed.
that,
It'll come out eventually. I think
I
you'll
don't think so.
maybe not for a while, but
I
time
don't
will tell. I
under
think.
this management. They don't ruffle feathers.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know, it's kind of like what the Patriots have been trying to do in their, we don't want
Yep.
legal issues. We don't want,
Do
you know,
your job.
focus on the game. Yeah. So it'll be interesting if anything really does come out. If it does, it's from Jaylen. I think it's gonna.
Agreed. Yeah. 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 But
But I think as soon as you are put up for a trade, are you happy with the team anymore? No. I think that's the way most people feel. So regardless
sure,
of what he felt before or what was going on before, I think once that is put out there, you're,
the ball was rolling. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I just don't think that someone like a Jaylen is ever going to forget that. It's not I don't know. Um, Nor should he. I don't know. Like that's the hard thing to do. Come back and feel unappreciated. Um, yeah. And always second fiddle to JT. Like I said,
Yep.
I don't think that's ever going to go away.
Nope.
Um, all right. That's all I got.
Think that's it. Another summer edition in the books. This one very quite interesting. We'll be back as the season gets going, in the next few months. I don't know when our next pod will be. Depends. We're gonna make more trades. We're gonna do more stuff. Maybe we'll watch some summer league. We'll get a opinion on some of the young guys. See
You
how.
didn't find the roster for this.
Nah, I couldn't find it.
Okay. You're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's. Even in the past when I look up some like summer league
Will
rosters, it
play?
doesn't seem to be the most accurate till the day of. But what?
Do you think Hugo will play?
Ugo is going to play a lot in the
For
summer league. Yeah, I think he'll be like the guy. I think they'll try to push him into like the kind of star of the summer league team would be my guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think they're very high on him. I mean, from everything reported, so I think they're gonna.
Has Missoula been recorded saying anything about the trades or anything? He's just staying out of it.
Yeah.
I just was wondering.
Nope.
I love how Brad says no discussion with anybody else. Just but there had to be some overall, I don't know.
Yeah. I think JT. They're not gonna not
No, no, they're
consult
never
him.
going to say anything. But I do
Yeah,
think
but I'm saying they're not gonna not consult him either. He obviously.
yeah, I agree. And maybe not in an asking, what do you think of this? But I do think there are things taken into consideration of things said in the past, like,
Of course, yeah.
um, and same with Missoula, right? I mean, you're there on the floor every single day. You're in the trenches with them. Of course, something's got to be, yeah.
Yep, I agree.
And we will probably never know that either. But it's
Yep.
all right.
Time will tell. In the meantime, you know the deal. We'll be everywhere worldwide. Spotify, Apple. Follow us on Twitter at Shamrock Talk. Instagram at Shamrock, or no, we're Shamrock Talk Pod on Twitter, Shamrock Talk on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the places. Um, Another interesting year, another different roster. Feels like every year we got, people in and out now. So always interesting in Celtics land these
And look,
days.
we were supposed to have a year of tanking last year, a tank year.
Exactly. We
And
the
look what happened.
I know
Everybody's
expectations this
all
year
excited,
are gonna be interesting.
we may not be second this year, but we'll see.
No,
Hopefully, the goal is a deeper playoff run, not your positioning,
agreed. Yep,
not deeper playoff run, quality team that you're building for the long run. So we'll see. It's
that's it.
gonna be exciting. But JB
Go.
will be missed.
Yes, we will miss you, JB.
It was
Been
very
a
good
hell of a
and it was
ride.
a fun ride.
Yeah. A championship finals MVP. Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Just the records that the duo set between
Yeah,
the two of
I
them.
know.
Like it was amazing. Absolutely.
He'll get a hero's welcome, I'm sure, his first time at the Garden. So
Oh, absolutely.
well deserved.
Yep. All right.
And with that, go Celtics.
Go Celtics.